Surveys. So you saw me mention surveys. So through Kickstarter or your platform, some platforms have this already built in that, for example, Seed and Spark will ask for t-shirt sizes during your campaign, which I think is brilliant because tracking people down to fill out their Kickstarter surveys is one of the nightmares of my life. But Kickstarter surveys and crowdfunding surveys is where you will gather the information you will need to order the rewards, fulfill the rewards, like get their addresses, both physical and digital, and keep in touch with backers. Here is a visual example of what it looks like to create a Kickstarter survey. I will show you right now. It's pretty simple, like any website would be. You will be going into your project, and it is basically what I want you to remember is that you only have one chance at this, so you want to make sure that you ask for every piece of information that you need. So, for example, creating a survey for this level, which is a beautiful enamel pin. It already has their address right here. I need to ask them two things. First of all, what email address should we send your digital rewards to this fall? And which enamel pin do you want? Robot sensitive. So sensitive badass rose. So here are a couple things that I did. First of all, I always ask for an email address because you never know. People usually use an old email address or a weird email address for their Kickstarter account. And then also I say, should we send your digital rewards to this fall or, this October? Because people are immediately going to be like, oh yeah, didn't I back that thing? Shouldn't I already have the rewards? So go ahead and let them know this isn't happening right now. And then, just make sure you look at the details of each reward and say, okay, what did they ask? What are they supposed to get? These things. It might be worth looking at your page to remind yourself, was there anything else? Were there stretch goals that added on more things that they were supposed to get? Okay, so that's a visual example of a survey. Here's a question you might get. What if I'm going to move? Here's your answer. Fill it out now so I have the information I need to order the rewards, and I will send you a warning when I'm going to lock in the addresses 14 days before I ship, and you can change the address then. So on the survey, you just saw this. There's a toggle for allow backers to change their address, so keep that checked. And then when you go back there 14 days before the project fulfills, which I showed you on that sample timeline, you'll say lock in addresses. Everyone will get a notification. It's time to change your address if you've moved. Kickstarter has that all figured out. Okay, make sure to ask for shirt sizes, preferences on anything else you need to order, and the best email address to send digital rewards to, because people often use old or bad email addresses for crowdfunding platforms. More things about surveys. People are hard to keep track of, so allow some time for surveys to get filled out. Don't send out a survey because you're shipping out tomorrow. Give them a month. You may need to chase people down a bit to fill out their surveys, not just via email, but also social media. I have found myself tracking people down on Twitter, sending them DMs, sometimes texting my friends or my dad, finding making sure that they have filled out their surveys because the information is going to their email, but it's an old email. It's okay. It's your job, in a way, to make sure they get their stuff. If you have an exclusive reward, something you need to order specifically, like shirts in specific sizes, for example, go ahead, first thing, set a deadline and provide an alternative. So, for example, if you don't answer in 20 days by May 1st, we're going to send you a extra large shirt because we have to order these shirts by May 1st. So if you have to do that, do it, because you can't order. If you are like me and you're running a pretty small business, you can't order extra shirts at every quantity and wait a year for people to respond to their surveys. That's okay. Just give people lots of notice, send them lots of messages and emails, and letting them know that that's the plan. Giving them a warning well in advance, lots of warning, and like I said, like at least a month to fill out those surveys so that that information is available to them.